Hi, Reverend Paula Zabkar here from Spiritual Soul Center. I never know exactly what I'm going to talk about in these soul sessions, but this morning this is what came to mind, and this is the thoughts that I put in my journal. You know, so many of us are afraid to talk about money. Like, we don't want to know what each other makes. We don't want to know what this cost or that cost, these expenses we have. We're afraid to share anything about money. I'm like, why is that? I mean, what is our fear of money? It's just a thing. You know, it's a way that we operate in our world, right? It's a way that we exchange value for things, right? We go to the store, we buy something. It's our way of doing that. So there's nothing to be afraid of with money. But there is a way of handling money, I think. And it's the way we handle money and how we feel about it that makes the difference. It sounds weird to feel about money. But for instance, just the simple thing of paying your power bill or paying your water bill. It's like, well, I get a value from that. I mean, I get a warm house, I get a warm shower, I get water coming out of the spigots. You know, instead of me being resentful for it costing so much, I think it's a healthier way to think about spending my money to get something that I feel value for. And it's a shift into thinking about money in that way. So today I want to give you an invitation to look at your life in that regard. Look at your whole life. Like, how do I spend money and where does it go? And how do I spend it and how do I offer it so that I recognize the value of what I get and I appreciate what I get? I think it's really important to do that. So much of what we pay now, maybe through bill pay, is automatic through the bank. But still, there can be this appreciation for what I get, for how I spend the money that comes into my life and how it goes out. Even things like what I spend in a restaurant, for instance. Maybe it's a really value to me to spend time with friends over pizza out, to recognize that, to acknowledge that in myself. But also then the places where we get value that we might not think of, like going to a 12-step meeting, or going to a book group, or coming to Spiritual Soul Center. You know, I think it's important to recognize the value that I get from those situations, from those encounters, from those engagements, and to say, this is the value I place on that. Is it important? Is it important? This is the quote that came to me this morning. Nourish the places that nourish you. Like, nourish the places that nourish you. If there's a love offering at a yoga class, like, what is it? What value is that to me? Nourish the places that nourish you. I'm asking you to consider that in your life and to feel the difference in recognizing that this is important to me and this is how I appreciate that. Even in our charitable giving to organizations, we realize that this is important to me. I value this and what this organization brings. And so I dedicate some of the flow of abundance toward me out in that way. So that's the message today. I'm inviting that conscious decision making about the people and the places and the circumstances and the events that nourish me. What nourishes me and how can I nourish that in return? That's what I have for you today. I hope that you stay warm and dry and feel that sun on your face today. Until next time.